What's going on, guys? Coming back again with another video review. This is Sir Tacos. We're going to be taking a look at the War for Cybertron Kingdom Voyager Inferno today. I believe this is my last Kingdom Voyager, which means that next is going to be the leaders. I think I'm going to do Megatron, then Ultra Magnus, so that way I can segue into the Siege Cyber, the Galaxy Upgrade Prime real quick before I jump back to Leader or Voyager class. So anyway, I say that a lot, don't I? Taking a look at his details. This area is actual clear plastic that's inside of this red plastic. The only part that's painted is the red up here with these little silver lights. You've got silver grill, light section, silver bumper, Autobot symbol, also part of that, also painted red. It's, I mean, it shows up on camera, but it's not something I really care about in person. Got molded details down the sides. He has these hoses on him. These are just black molded plastic this time around, no silver. Like what Grapple had. I don't have my Grapple anymore. This is a pinned wheel. The red is a different plastic component, and then these are the clip wheels, but they painted the rims red, so they look consistent. Then you've got his little water cannon and his wings. You can take this water cannon and put it up here on the hose, but mine's a real loose fit, so I'm not going to do that. Little gap in the back, never hurt anybody. You've got his gun can store on the side here, and this little silver hose cannon thing will store on the side of the ladder. I usually don't have its gun on him, but I dragged it out for the review, so there's his accessories done. You've got his ladder. It's molded pretty well. Like fake holes where there should be holes and stuff, but it gets the job done. Then you've got blast compatible port here. Here's where the little nozzle would sit if it wasn't so loose. And then he rolls. My table's not the best for rolling things. Those back wheels are not cooperating, but they roll. If I push down on it, no, they're not going to cooperate. And on this side, the front one is. So it's got to be something to do with the way these are sitting under here. I'm willing to bet. There we go. That one kind of rolled a little bit. Let's see this side. Oh, no, nothing's rolling. Alright. Enough rolling. Time for some size comparisons. Here he is with the cube. Here he is with the Gormagala statue. And I had both of these guys in Beetle mode, and it's faster to transform the MPM-07 than it is to transform this guy. So just for this, until I transform him back into a robot, we've got reverse rolls. Here's Transcraft Beetle as a Beetle for your comparison. And then the next review for Friday is gonna be Leader Class Megatron. We'll go ahead and raise the camera up a little bit. So that is a big T-Rex. That is definitely oversized. This actually isn't terrible, but for that fire truck, it's definitely oversized. But there you go, Leader Megatron. And that'll about do it for size comparisons. I guess real quick, we'll go over the ladder's posability. It's a ratchet up and down. This thing will spin if you don't have this hose in the way. It'll go a full 360, but I like this hose where I had it. So, and then you can push the ladder in so that it's nice and neat, but that's more for transformation. With Grapple, I like to keep the crane stored collapsed and the hook down in that little gap in his legs, but with Inferno I generally just leave the hose out. Alrighty, so I'm just trying to think if I forgot anything else about his vehicle mode. I don't think I did. Nothing important to me anyway. Starting off with Inferno's transformation, like I said, we're just going to collapse his hose in. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift it up on its ratchet. Not unplug the whole thing. Just lift it up and rotate it to the back. Then I'm going to bend here. There's two little tabs here that kind of plug into these circular, it looks like screw hole, like pinned holes. Anyway, you're going to fold it down like that. We'll go ahead and just complete his arms. I'm only going to fold out one hand because I'm going to put the hose in that one, but that's how his hands fold out. Then you're going to rotate his arms out and they will peg into the sides. There's a couple of different tabs over here. A tab for this, and then these kind of go around the window structure. And it holds it into place pretty good because I can move his arm without it popping out. Then we're going to rotate the arm so that the hands are facing forward. Rotate them down. And there we have his arms done. We'll go ahead and untab the legs. On Inferno, they fixed the issue where they would get caught and break, so you don't have to worry about that with him. We'll go ahead and fold this up out of our way for a minute, and we'll work on the legs. For the legs, we're basically just going to rotate the feet on this series of hinges until they're in place, and that's your lot for the legs, really. I will actually rotate the hoses up so they're sitting up higher on the leg. I think it looks a little better, and it differentiates the leg from truck mode a little more. Next, we'll go ahead and rotate his head out. We're going to rotate his gun back so it's going to sit on his back, and that'll let us rotate the hose forward, rotate his wings forward. Oops, I didn't rotate it quite enough. There we go. And then on this series of hinges, we're going to collapse his head up. So you're just going to bend it as it naturally would bend. Give it a squeeze to get it all together. Then the head's going to rotate down, and there's going to be, oh, you can't see that. Let's go up. The head's going to rotate down, and there's two little clip sort of deals that are going to clip his head into place. His gun's hanging on his back, and then we're just going to take his hose and fold it down. You could turn it around and fold it the other way, but when you do that, this piston detailing bumps up against his back and kind of flares it out a little bit. So if you want it sitting nice and straight down, that's the way to do it. And then his gun's over here. I'm just going to leave that on there, but we can take this little nozzle off his ladder and plug it into his hand to give him that Inferno-y look. And there we have Kingdom Inferno in his robot mode. Go ahead and take a look at his details. Right off the bat, I need to raise this up. The head is much better than Grapple's, because Grapple's was just like solid orange that blended right into the solid orange around it with like a silver face, and that was it. He's got black helmet with silver and yellow highlights, then his face is silver, and that looks real good. He's got the wings, which sets him apart as Inferno. They don't exist on Grapple. He's got this little hose here that is Inferno's own thing. His shoulders have got silver paint on the pauldrons and in this detail around the splash port. Chest chest has got the same detail as before. I forgot to mention the painted black windshield wipers though. Waist has got no new paint, but lots of molded detail. The thighs are painted for color matching, but not for detail. That's okay. The legs have no paint whatsoever that you couldn't see in vehicle mode, and I don't think that it's even paint. These are molded silver, this is molded black. Tires have the red paint for color matching purposes. Then going up the back, you can see that this is molded in black because it's starting to come off here on those pegs. You've got this big old ladder. It's gun just hanging out back here. You can take it out and put it in his hand. I'll do that in a second. The back of his arms, they've even got some molded detail going on. Then from the side, there are little steps here almost that you can't see that well in vehicle mode, but they're there to like get up on the ladder and stuff. You've got this is where the wing pugs. I still can't say plug or peg. I can't do it. This is where the wings tab in. Then you've got two blast ports, one where his gun's hanging. You've got one on each shoulder, one around each elbow, and you would have one on each leg, but the hose is taking up the spot. So if you wanted to, you could take the hose off and you could put it wherever you want it to be. I like to keep it on his leg. I think it looks nice that way. And then you've got one on the bottom of each foot, which is out of the same hole that would plug into the back in vehicle mode. As far as articulation goes, his head is on a swivel inside this box. The box itself does not turn, so basically once you get past here, he can't really see anything, so this is about as far as you're going to want to turn it. I'm going to go ahead and get this wing out of the way to pose his arm freely. It's molded so that there's a cutout here, so that way you can swing it forward and back without issue. But if you wanted to do a full 360, you'd have to have the wing out of the way. So you should be able to get it into whatever position you want to get it into. You just keep in mind that if you want to swing it around, that's going to have to be moved. And then it goes out to the side 90 degrees. Some of that detailing that Cyclonus had with the underarm to make it look more natural. You've got a full 360 at the bicep. You've got a little over 90 degrees at the elbow, and the wrist can bend in for transformation if you want to count that. Oh, it can bend out too. Alright, we'll go ahead and look at his waist. It also goes 360. The thighs are those built-in things, so there's no hip stuff to get out of your way. It'll just go forward and back, and for the most part it's unhindered. The part of the leg can start bumping up against this hinge system, but you just got to angle it out slightly, like it's not even enough to make a fuss about. Then he's got all the way out to the side bicep swivel on that mushroom peg. You've got 90 degree knees, and then his feet on those double hinges for transformation, they can go all the way down, they can go up a really good amount, and then you've also got your full range ankle tilts there, so you can get him into plenty of cool poses as long as the head isn't compromised. As far as accessories go, we put this in his hand in transformation. You could have two hands out if you just wanted to leave it stored on the hose. This can pretty much just stay there, but if you wanted to, you could swing the hose up, clip it into place and rotate it around and act like this was some kind of super cannon. You could attach the nozzle as like a mini cannon. You could extend it out and use it to just sweep people around him. You know, just have fun and go nuts. It's a toy. But we'll go ahead and give him his gun. Take a look at it here. Just cast in black plastic with no paint apps. I really like the look of it though. I don't know why, but it looks cool to me. A lot of people are like, oh, this gun's okay, oh, it's generic. Well, yeah, but I mean, it looks really cool to me. So there, now he's all armed up with his gun. we've done his posability because I didn't forget it this time. So there you've got him in his robot mode. And we'll go ahead and take a look at his size comparisons. I just want to kind of get him standing a little more interesting than just standing there. So go ahead and bump this up, and there he is, a little more interesting than just standing there. If you wanted to, you could display him with these folded back and this folded away. If he was just like had both his hands out and he was kind of like in a civilian mode, and then he could pop this on and flare all this stuff out for like an attack mode, if that's what you want. But we'll go ahead and take a look at some size comparisons. Alrighty, first things first, we've got our Rubik's Cube. Next things next. Gormagala. Thirds. Here is the official Bumblebee movie, Bumblebee. He is shorter. He has the door wings and the backpack. And full disclosure, I like this guy better than the Transform Element one, not because it's a better version of the character, but because it's just fun to mess with and have as an extra one that I can have as a Beetle, as opposed to Transform Element. My brain wants to mix Transform Element and Transcraft together. So if it decides to stroke out doing that, you know what happened. But he looks pretty good. I gave him an auto badge. He looks pretty good for the image that they were going off of when they made it. Now, by the time this came out, the Bumblebee movie was already out, but who knows how long this was in production. And if it wasn't in production until after the film came out, maybe they just wanted to keep the look cohesive with everything else that had came out, so they prioritized consistency over accuracy. I couldn't tell you which way that went. All I can tell you is that it's a fun toy that turns into a good Volkswagen alt mode, and I have one that is a very good robot representation, so they both have a purpose. And then for the last size comparison, here we have him with the last Voyager review, which is Dinobot. They're roughly the same height, and I believe these guys were in the same wave, so you know it works out pretty good. You get two pretty good Voyagers. In the last wave, Prime and Cyclonus were definitely different sized, but one had a bunch of gimmicks that were fun, and the other one was just a great transformer. So you're getting pretty much, no matter which Voyager you pick up from the Kingdom line so far, the ones that I have and have reviewed, it's going to be a good time. Even Rhinox. I can't remember who else came out in Kingdom Voyager-wise. All I know is that I don't have them. Either Rhinox was released by himself or he was released with a repack. If I'm not mistaken, I'd have to look it up. But there you go. Final thoughts wise, this is a really good Voyager Inferno. I don't think I've had an Inferno based on G1 before. If I had an Inferno, it was in the Arid era from, I want to say it was pre-Beast Wars that this Rid happened. No, it was definitely, it came after Beast Wars, before Armada. I'm just trying to remember. Like, I remember the time frame things happened by what house I lived in, because I moved quite a few times as a kid. So having the Rid toys was definitely the house after I had the Beast Wars stuff. So it came out just after Beast Wars, and I'm pretty sure we had a fire truck, but I couldn't tell you if his name was Inferno. Then there was the Energon Inferno, which I believe one of us had. But this is the first G1 Inferno, and for a $30 figure, there's not really much I could say. If they did like a premium finish one with better paint, then that's about as much as you could do to this guy. They fixed the leg issue. The paint that's on it is serviceable, and at worst, I actually think it looks pretty nice because it is G1. So even though it's got greebles and line work and all that, it's still simple in its paint scheme. You know, which is like Sunbow accurate, the Sunbow chart. I don't have a Sunbow chart. I've never looked at a Sunbow chart, but I know what it is because other people have talked about it. So if you like the character, you'll probably like this toy. If you don't like the character, you probably like this toy anyway. And if you don't like this toy, I can't do much for you because this is good stuff. Anyway, if you liked the video, go ahead and give her a like. If you want to see more of my stuff, subscribe, and then ring the bell so you know when it's up. I got Twitter linked in the feed down there in the description. I'll try to post an image the day before a review is out. And then on the days that I'm not reviewing figures, I'm doing Pokemon Platinum playthrough. If any of you are Poke fans out there, go ahead and watch that. I'm just doing it on an emulator. So we're going to see how that goes. Maybe I'll do another game after that. For all I know, it could just be a dud and I'll never do another one again. Let's see. I want to say that the video that's coming out after this is going to be Impactor. From the Netflix series. That'll be your Monday review. Then you're going to get Sentinel Prime on Wednesday. Or is this after Sentinel Prime? This is after Sentinel Prime. I've shot stuff so far in advance. Is this after Sentinel Prime? We've got Wheeljack. Then, yeah, Wheeljack, then Sentinel Prime. And then the Thanksgiving review, and then this guy. Alright. So yeah, this guy, it'll be Impactor. I don't think there's going to be a review Wednesday, and then Friday it'll be Leader Class Megatron. So I think that's what's coming up. If any of you got confused by that, welcome to the club, because I don't know what I just said either. I'll see you next time.